Svitak, and I'm an attorney with the Shannon Law Group. And I'm the head of our vaccine practice. And what we do is we pursue compensation for people who have experienced an injury or a side effect due to a vaccine. And we do that by filing petitions in what's called the National Vaccine Injury Compensation Program. So I talked to hundreds of people across the United States who have experienced an injury or side effect due to a vaccine. And nearly all of them have never heard of the Vaccine Injury Compensation Program. So I thought it'd be a good idea to go through what that program is, how it works, and kind of talk about the compensation that is available to people who are unfortunate enough to experience an injury due to a vaccine. So the government program that's been set up is a compensation program, and it's a no-fault compensation program. So there's no requirement that you prove that somebody did something wrong or somebody was negligent and caused your injury. All that needs to be determined is whether you received a covered vaccine and whether you experience an injury or side effect due to that vaccine. And the way that the program works is we file a petition for you and we allege that you received a vaccine and that you experienced a particular injury. And the government will review that petition and review the evidence that we submit in support of that petition and make a determination as to whether or not they agree that the vaccine caused your injury. And one of the things that helps them determine that issue is something called the Vaccine Injury Table. And the table lists all of the covered vaccines, and then they list the injuries or the conditions that are associated with those vaccines. They also include some additional information that helps determine whether or not you actually have suffered that particular condition, some of the things that they look for. So if you meet the criteria of this vaccine injury table, there's a presumption that the vaccine caused your injury. And that's crucial to the success of a lot of petitions that are filed in the program. And it leads to the government typically conceding that the vaccine caused your injury. So from there, if we're successful in showing that you're entitled to compensation, the next question to be answered is how much compensation are you entitled to? And in this government program, there are, in general, 4 areas of compensation that they will award to petitioners. Number 1 is any out-of-pocket, unreimbursed medical expenses that you've already incurred. So anything like a coinsurance payment, a deductible, any medical equipment that you've had to pay out of pocket, travel costs incurred, getting to appointments, things like that. All of that's reimbursable and something that we would need to submit to the government for compensation. The second thing that's available is any lost wages or earnings as a result of the injury. So if you miss time from work or if you have to take vacation or sick days, those sorts of things are also reimbursable. There's also pain and suffering damages, and this is something that's difficult to explain because it really comes down to how severe the injury is. And the way we show that to the government is through the medical records and through your own testimony as to what your experience was due to the vaccine injury, the pain that you experienced, and the pain that you continue to experience if it's a permanent condition. And finally, the court does also include compensation for future medical expenses to the extent that they will reasonably be incurred, and also to the extent that they're not already covered by some other health insurance. So those are in general what's available to you if you are unfortunate enough to experience an injury to a vaccine. So let's say the judge decides, number 1, you're entitled to compensation, and then number 2, here's what you're going to get. And the compensation that is going to come to you is going to come to you in the form of a check from the government. And that check, whatever is awarded to you, is 100% yours. You will keep all of it. In other words, we're not working on a contingency fee basis here as your attorney. We are not going to take a portion of your check if we're successful. And we're not going to take a portion of your check to reimburse us for our costs either. Every penny that gets awarded to you goes to you directly into your pocket. The way we get paid is similar to how you get paid. So we petition the government to compensate us for our fees and our time, and we get paid out of the same fund that the client would get paid out of. So at no point are we going to bill the client for any of our time, expect the client to reimburse us for costs, or take any portion of the award that's given to you. So everything that's awarded to you is yours to keep. If you or a loved one has experienced an injury or side effect due to a vaccine, I'd encourage you to give us a call for a free consultation and free case review. You can call us at 312-578-9501.